Hello there. Welcome to episode 15 of the Vibe with Deezy podcast. So, as I'm recording this, it's still July 6th, the same day as the previous episode I recorded earlier. Uh, so, since then, it's definitely been a very, very interesting day. Um, One of the most interesting of my life by far. Sorry, I saw something over there. Um, when this goes live, I'm gonna make it. If you don't see, I'm live streaming right now. If you don't see the live stream, then it's the 7th right now when I make this actually live. Um, so very shortly after I was done recording the last episode earlier today, something something happened where some of my property was damaged and it was completely unexpected. I was just here editing the previous episode, well, just adding the finishing touches on the title and the tags and all of that stuff, right? So not necessarily editing, just putting the finishing touches on it, I would say. Um, Sorry, just wanted to redirect the camera. Uh, but yeah, as I was doing that, that's when yeah, the thing just randomly happened and just completely caught me off guard. I was literally here just enjoying my day off, having a beer and enjoying myself, And then this thing just randomly happens. Definitely changed the trajectory of my day. So after that, just chilled around the house a little bit, and the fiance and I were planning to do some DoorDash, so we got prepared. You know, got into the car and took off. You know, So our current area wasn't busy, so we couldn't start our dash then. So we drove. We decided to drive a few miles down the road in the hot zone, so we could begin there, right? So we get to our first destination, and she decides she's going to be the one going inside to get the orders, and I'll drop them off to the customer. So like, okay, well, I'll just park here. And as I was parking, I accidentally turned my car's push to start. I accidentally turned it off, um, which that's never happened. So I don't know how or why I did that today. Like I said, I guess I was just thrown off from the random thing that happened earlier. I guess just I was rattled. But so after you know she came back out saying, "Oh, we got to go around the building." So after I turned my car back on, I don't know what it was, but my AC wasn't as cold as it was just minutes before I turned, the car off. Not minutes, but moments, seconds. So I was like, damn, it's 100 plus outside. I hope, sometimes it takes your AC, a while to like kick in and get cold. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just gonna take a while to get cold again since I just restarted the car. Um, but no, it never did. And we were just fussing about, oh, like she didn't want the windows down, but I kind of wanted them down to get some fresh air. And right before we left, I was just tired. I was like, I really don't feel like going, but I know she needs the gas money, so just suck it up. Just suck it up for an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? Um, as we're getting further along, it's just like the heat. The heat's like right coming in on the side of my face as I'm driving. And like when I have the window down, it's just bearing down. Like I do have tinted windows, thankfully, and it does really help with the sunlight. But it was, I just couldn't find a comfort level. I had brought a bottle of water, but it was a tiny little thing, so I'd already drank it. Um, by the time my air wasn't kicking in, and like I said, we're just fussing with each other. Windows down, windows up. Do we just turn it high and let the warmish air blow us from the car or what, you know? And then, right before we made it to drop off our first order, it's like, your car's probably out of Freon. And in my head, that just set something off, like even more stress. I'm like, wow, great, another fucking bill on my tab. And that just sent me in a tailspin mentally, and I was just like the heat and in my head, it was just hot and loud, just the stress was just like all the fucking scenarios in my head. How am I going to pay for this stuff? How am I going to pay for that? Just everything being down on me all at once. We dropped off the first order, uh, and you know, I was still feeling kind of crappy, but here and there, I would catch a second wind. Like I'd feel decent, and then I wouldn't. Um, so we got to our second stop, and I checked my phone, and I saw that I'd won some Bitcoin from Cash App, like $25. I was like, well, that'll help ease a little bit of my stress. So hopefully that helps me like calm down. Like I'm still gonna be hot, but hopefully having a little peace of mind of some change in my account, will help me chill out a little bit. So she goes inside to pick up the next order, and I'm there like just trying to chill out, cool down in my head. But we pull off, start doing a turnaround, and then I see a house, a street that reminds me of someone who has like kind of negative memory attached, so that adds another little drop, another little thing onto my head. Once again, the wheels like start spinning again, and I say about 5 to 10 minutes into our drive towards the second house, that's when the anxiety attacks started kicking in. So if you've never had one, this is how I can describe it. Like when your foot falls asleep, maybe you're on the toilet for too long, or you have it hanging off the bed or whatever, and I guess it loses circulation or whatever, right? And you just feel the like fuzzy feeling, like the TV back in the day, the old school TV when it doesn't have signal, how it just goes like all fuzzy. Like it felt like I started feeling like that in my feet. And I knew from the past two experiences that, you know, panic/anxiety attack is probably about to hit. One a few months ago, but I was able to stop it thankfully. But this one, it came in like a bitch. It came in ready to attack. It was really the heat. Honestly, I feel like that kicked it up a notch. That made it harder to fight. Me battling the heat. Also, if I had the AC, I think I would have been able to fight it off. But just having the heat on top of all the stuff in my mind, it was unbearable, unbeatable. And so the last time it happened, I know exactly what caused it. I took a nap before work. I worked overnight. I took a nap before work, and I got up a little later than I wanted to, so I was kind of rushing to get out of the house and on my way to work. So I was like rushing myself, thinking like, "Oh, don't be late, don't be late. Hurry up, hurry up." Like, and it's funny because my dad even said something to me while I was in the kitchen with him. Like, "Hey, you can like stretch yourself out. Chill out." He could see me getting worked up, getting like too anxious. Like you need to, like I was ready to hurry up and leave. So that time, like this time, so that time I had to just I got off. I was on the freeway when it started kicking in. I uh I was trying to make it to work because I know like once I'm sitting down, once I'm grounded, I'm able to just like put my head over or something, just calm down. I know it that has helped it subside. Here's Brittany joining me. It's getting a little laggy. Sorry about that. I forgot to connect it to my phone. But today, as it was kicking in, it did it like all at once. Where not only did I feel it in my feet, but I started feeling it in my arms too, in my head. My head was just getting. It wasn't getting fuzzy, but it was getting tense. Like when you have a really bad headache, it was that without the headache. It was just like it felt like it was closing in on me, and she was like, do you need to do you need me to drive? I was like, no, it's fine, it's fine. And as I'm going down the street, like it's the panic is starting to kick in. Like, holy shit! Like, what? We were on a street where there was no way to turn off. We were on it. Fuck. Like, let me just hurry to get to this turn where I have to turn. Hopefully, there's something there. And thankfully, eventually, I find like a little liquor store. I don't know if they'll have any water or something for me to drink, but I know at least it'll be cooler than it is out here. So I hurried and went inside. Did I stumble in there a little bit or no?
I don't think so. I don't believe you did.
But when I got in there, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm having a panic attack, like, do you sell any water? I just need to cool down for a minute. I said, yeah, I have water, but it's frozen. But thankfully, he had some Gatorade. I was like, fuck it, Gatorade is the next best thing for a hot day. So I went to go buy some Gatorade. I took a few sips. I was just in there, like chilling on the counter, just trying to like cool down and like center myself. And it did help for a moment. For a moment, I thought it was on the way out, right? I was like, okay, I think I'm there. I think I'm finally starting to knock it down. So we get back on the road. It's mid DoorDash order too, so like that's another stress in the back of my mind. I gotta get this damn order sent out. I can't. Excuse me. Like damn, I can't let this person be waiting for their food like that. Sorry, I'm just trying to position you better. I was like, I can't do that. I gotta hurry up and deliver their food. I gotta just fight through it. Just get there. Just get there. Wrong decision. I should have spent at least 2 to 5 more minutes there at that liquor store. I think if I would have like beat it all the way, I would have been fine. But no, I left too soon. Um, it's kind of like you remember in the Matrix when Agent Smith put his hand in the Neo and you could see it like taking over Neo. Then he like pulled it out and he was all right. But towards the end, he did it and he actually like it fully consumed him. That's what it was like. Like when I was in there, it was like dissipating, and then when I went back outside too soon, it's like it it took over. So we finally got to the person's house, and their house was like on the opposite side of traffic. So it was such a weird road. So
it really was.
And the person whose house it was, they put their car like an asshole at the end of the driveway. Like they had plenty of space. If they had their car behind their other car, I would have had room to like park, like park and her get out.
Because when I got out of the car, people were honking at me, and I'm like, "What? Like, why are you honking at me?"
Yeah. So then that was even more stress. Was me on like this crazy road, this small road, people going back and forth. And while she's delivering the order, I just get out of my car and I'm like laying up against it, and then that's when I have like deja vu. I'm like, I'm supposed to go to this person's house and they're gonna let me in, but that did not happen. I went up to their door, rung the doorbell. They had already grabbed their food. Rung the doorbell. They didn't answer. I waited there for like 30 seconds, and she was like, "They're not coming. They're not coming back." So I was like, oh, fine, you drive then, you know? And when I got back in that car, as we were like frantically searching for like some kind of store or a gas station, I really thought I was either going to pass out or die. Like that's how dire and severe it felt. At that point, my whole body, even my stomach, I had never felt that before. Even my stomach was getting the tense, fuzzy, feeling in it. I was literally starting to feel it in my insides too. Like not only in my head, like the pressure in my head was almost unbearable. I was holding my head, and I remember just like I was starting to lose my feeling in my hands and my legs. I was just one whole fuzzy ball, but I wasn't in a ball. Um, yeah, I was looking out the window. I was starting to think, like, damn, am I about to die? I really did have that feeling, especially like when we were driving past that like little league field, and there was no like stores in sight. It's like, damn, am I really about to die in the car? Am I about to pass out? Like, what's about to happen? Like, is this just gonna be it? Like I really felt like that. The way my body felt, I thought my heart was about to shut down. I was about to have like an aneurysm, a stroke, something. I didn't know what was about to happen, but it felt like something was about to happen, or my body was just about to quit. It was about to give up. Um, but thankfully, we finally made it to a damn gas station. And at that point, I was like, yeah. She asked me, "Do you want me to call 911?" I was like, "Yeah." And I got out as soon as she stopped and parked. I got out, and then like it was hard to walk. I had to like concentrate to walk and close my hands. My hands would close unless I forced them to close. You know how it's just like right now it's nothing. No, I had to like actually put pressure, like I was like lifting a weight or something to close my hands. And I walked up to the counter and I was asking her, like, hey, can you call the paramedics for me? I mean, even though I think you already calling them?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well,
I didn't yet.
I'm glad I told her. Like, I walked in there, leaned up against the counter, telling her, and then it was funny, like I work security for a living, and I told her like I'm not on drugs or anything. I think I'm just having like an anxiety attack, a panic attack. Like that's all it is. But I don't know if it's something else. Like my whole body is numb right now. Like, can you please just call someone to go sit down? I took off my glasses, my shoes. I don't know why, but I just took them off. I guess to feel less pressure on my body or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I immediately like just went over there to sit down and yeah, I was like, damn, I'm about to pass out in here now. Like I was like, at least I'm here and the paramedics are on their way at the very least. So I asked her for a cup of ice, and I grab it. I just start putting it on my. Oops, I forgot to put gel. I start putting it on my head, on my face, just so I could cool down at the very least. See if it helps. Um, and thankfully, like as we were pulling in, we saw like an ambulance drive by. So I'm pretty sure that's probably the same one that had just passed us.
Most likely, yeah.
Because they were there within a minute or two of her calling. And they asked me the basic questions. Like um, my age, have I taken any alcohol or drugs, and then she was the operator on the phone was having me do tests. Like I had to hold my arms out straight, smile. Um, I guess just to see for signs of stroke. And I couldn't even tell at that point. Like, I could tell like my arms were fine, but I couldn't tell by my face at that point. So I was trying to like smile. I don't usually like do a teethy smile, but I was just trying. Like let me comply. But
I'm back in my chair.
like I said, they got there within a minute or two, and I still don't know how I feel about the male paramedic. I mean, I know he was trying to help, but also he did have like an asshole tone about him. What do you think? What did you think of what he was saying?
I mean, most of what he was saying was pretty much, I would think, standard. He was just like, hey, like, try this, do this.
And he was talking me through it. Why'd you call us? What do you think is happening? And then I told him about my random experience from earlier in the day. It's like, yeah, see, as you're saying, it's kind of making sense, huh? And that kind of annoyed me a little bit because of how shitty I was feeling at the moment. But I know he meant
I don't think he meant it in like
a whole way.
No. I think he was just like, you're talking it through. It's
Yeah.
making sense.
And when he first got there, he's like, what do you hope to achieve by this visit or whatever? It's like, honestly, I just just want to be sure I'm not having a stroke or something crazy like that. He's like, no, I can guarantee you're not having a stroke. A 33-year-old having a stroke, like, that's a very, very rarity. He said, just by looking at me, you could tell that wasn't the case.
I'm surprised you didn't call somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not like saying it like in a mean way. I'm just surprised you didn't.
Nah, that's my go-to person anymore. So
Yeah.
I
mean, for medical stuff.
Yeah, but she wasn't actually there. I feel like she would have been little to no help, and the way she acts towards me, I've been very proud. But after they left, there was something that annoyed me. I was still there trying to cool down. Having the ice on my face and having my head down, just trying to breathe. He said like long, deep, slow breaths would help. He said what happened was I was breathing too fast, and he even threw like a big medical term at me. And
he said, like, basically, since you were breathing so much or so
fast,
yeah, that it had too much CO2 or whatever. I don't even remember the medical term.
Either too much or not enough CO2. Like either my levels were too high or too low. I don't remember. But it took like another, I would say, 10 minutes to even get to where I was, able to sit in the car. But yeah, like what I was gonna say, what annoyed me was the damn lady was like, "Oh, are y'all gonna get going soon? Because my boss is not gonna like y'all just sitting here." And I was kind of like, "Really, dude? Like, I'm over here like fucking struggling not to pass out." At that point, I started feeling like nauseous, not to throw up. I also had to doo, like I'm trying not to do all of these things right now, and you're over here giving a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your boss. I don't give a fuck about what he's not gonna like. Like fuck him. But yeah, I was just there, like really, I'm over here like struggling to catch normalcy again, and you're over here like worried about what the hell your boss is thinking. Like, I don't know if he was actually there, if he was talking about like the video footage and watching the replay, but like I'm pretty sure when he just saw paramedics walk in the door, he wouldn't give a damn. But I was like, really? I don't know. I felt like that was like. I mean, she did say she just started, and when you first started a job, you don't want to do nothing to upset your boss. So I give her a little leeway since she's new. Like I was a stickler when I was new too. So I mean, but yeah, it's funny. As soon as I stepped outside, I dumped the cup of ice over my head, and I had I had bought like a Ozarka squirt bottle. Um, so I was shooting that on my head, on my face, on my back, just like everywhere, so I could cool down. He said that helps. Um, having that like sensation of cold, like like you got to breathe, like it hurts. Like it's just what I was trying to do. But yeah, thankfully we got home. So yeah, I told her I wanted to hear her thoughts on the whole ordeal. So what what were you thinking, moment by moment and all of that?
I just didn't know what you wanted me to do. Because you were kind of all over the place. So it was more just like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you need me to do? And
Oh, I did a ring. I've never did that before. That's awesome.
but
So,
yeah, you were just like all over the place. So I just didn't really know exactly what to do, besides drive. And
I'm sorry. I won't do
honestly,
that again.
and I mean, that was, I guess I've never had panic attack that bad. I've had like small panic attacks or small anxiety attacks where I just like, just keep
Oops. Go keep talking.
and all that kind of stuff. One time, it's like when I was still in college, I remember I actually did have like I don't know if it was like an ongoing like stress or anxiety attack or whatever that caused it. But I had Bell's palsy happen to me once, and
Oh, I know that.
yeah, and they said they don't really know exactly what causes it, but they're pretty sure it's probably stress. And but it was like when that happened to me, that was like a few days. Like it happened like over the span of like a few days. Like it started off like I had like a really bad headache and like almost like a migraine, bad enough headache. And then one of the days, and I thought it was just allergies, my eye was like all droopy, like all down, droopy and stuff like that. And so, but again, I thought it was just allergies or something like that because my allergies are pretty bad. So I really thought nothing of it. And I wasn't living anywhere close to my parents at that time. I was about an hour and a half since I was at college. And so I actually drove home and I still didn't feel good. And, but I mean, I made it home pretty okay, because I knew the drive pretty decently and all that kind of stuff. And so when I got home, my mom was like, well, why don't you try taking this? This is what I take when I have like a really bad migraine headache and stuff like that. And so I took that. And then I actually went, or maybe even before I got home, I went to go see a movie with one of my friends. And I told her, I said, yeah, just my head really hurts. And I said, I'm feeling a little bit better. And I said, and my allergies have been bothering me and all this kind of stuff. And so maybe like a few hours later, once I actually home, like my head was still just like throbbing. And then my eye was still getting like super, super droopy. And then like half of my mouth was like numb. It was really weird. And yeah. And then my forehead, isn't it all like, when you lift up your forehead or whatever, it didn't all fold. Like it was like, so like half of it was not folding, like doing like that. The other half was. It was, yeah, it was weird. And so went to the ER and they told me what it was. And because my mom she wasn't sure. She was like, is she having a stroke? Like, I mean, I was only like maybe 22, 23. Like I was pretty young. I was maybe even as young as 22. And she was like, is my 21-year-old daughter having a stroke over here? Kind of the same thing. And so one thing that they actually told us, which I think is kind of good knowledge to know, that the forehead, the whole like little one, the folds on the forehead, apparently if you're having a stroke, your forehead doesn't do that. Like it will still fold. like it will still like show the folds, the little or wrinkles, folds, whatever you want to call them. But if the Bell's palsy, that's what causes the half paralysis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a couple of other people that it's happened to, and I think they said it was kind of just stress related. And at that time, I was pretty stressed in school. And so, I mean, the more that I thought about it, I was like, well, that's probably what it was. And then, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it, definitely was not a fun experience. And like I said, my head hurts. So I just remember my head hurting like so bad. Like I had such a bad headache. And that was also like around the time my fire alarm battery was also going out, and that beeping was just going off. And
that sounds horrible.
Yeah. So I mean, but it was like a few days. I mean, it wasn't just like one day that it happened. I mean, it was like one day was my eye, the next day was my headache. The next day is when my mouth kind of started feeling weird. And then after that, like, because I would smile and only like half of my face would smile. It was weird. It was like the weirdest feeling.
Kind of like a few months back when you had the dental work and it was kind of weird like that.
I mean, yeah, sort of, but like that
probably
wore
worse.
off. Yeah, I mean, but it was like that, but it didn't wear off. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the worst I've had happen to me. I haven't had like a full on where my body feels numb. It was just like where, like I said, I had face paralysis. And
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like it was the very first time it happened. It was less predictable than the last two I've had it happen. The first time it happened was, I would say, like 2012, 2013, and like nothing at all like it had ever happened. I was driving home from work. I had stopped at Arby's, and I mean, I was in a pretty good mood. I think I was like listening to music and just ready to get home and eat my food, right? I don't remember being stressed at all. If like there was maybe like a few small things I was stressed about, but nothing major. And yeah, just like shortly as I was heading home, like first it was one leg that went numb, then it was the other, then it was my arms. Slowly, I feel it slowly spreading to my arms. So that's when I started trying to call my parents, and they didn't answer. Because even then, like it was late at night. It was like maybe 10 to 12 at night. It's like, damn, like the gas station by my house, I think it was closed at that point. So I was like, should I pull over and keep trying to call them, or should I just make it? I was only like half a mile from home. I was like, fuck it, I'm almost there. Let me just tough it out and make it. But when I got home, I just went into my room and like laid down, turned on the air conditioner, and like I said, I didn't know what was happening to me, and like my parents didn't either. So my dad called my grandma, and like I think he had gave me like a cold rag to put on my head, and eventually, like just like today, like a bunch of cold stuff, just like calm it down and help me feel better.
When you start feeling like that, now you kind of know what it might be, and
Yeah, so all 3 times it's happened while I'm fucking driving. I don't like that. Like that's the worst part. That's the worst place for it to happen, is while driving on the damn freeway. It sucks.
Yeah. But like I said, you kind of know, to pull over, well, obviously pull over safely, but you get what I'm trying to say. And just
get to a gas station, buy a bottle of water, just
do that, and just even if just in your car. Because I will say, actually, when we were driving home, I could feel the air conditioning.
Yeah, me too.
So I really think for you, just at that moment, it was more just like it felt hot. I'm not saying it wasn't hot, because it was a little hot. I will agree, like because it was so hot outside.
I didn't think about that.
But like it really started to feel better. And I think, and I even did try to tell him, get out of your mind. Like, just don't think about it. Because he was thinking about the hot air, like he was saying earlier, we were kind of going back and forth. We weren't arguing, but we were going back and forth. Yeah. And I was like, no, just don't think about it. Like, because I've dealt with kind of anxiety my whole life, basically. And, I've always, one of my biggest things, if it starts getting bad, is just being like, you can't think about whatever is making you have that anxiety or whatever. You just have to, it's easier to say than it is to do. It's easier for me to tell him, just don't think about it. But he was still just thinking about it. And I'm just like, just don't think about it. It might just be the Freon or something. And it's probably nothing big. Like, if it is that, and I said, just don't think about it. I said, I know that's hard, but just try not to. And, but of course he's, like I said, that's easier said than done. I get that. And, but you just, like I said, you just have to get out of your head as much as you can. I mean, maybe, honestly, maybe us going out wasn't the best idea with everything that happened that day. I mean, we had already kind of planned it. And so I was like, well, let's still just go do it. We'll get our mind off of it. But obviously it was still kind of in the back of your mind and stuff like that. I actually wasn't home when it happened.
Like, so honestly, I feel like if that Cash App thing had happened before we left, I definitely wouldn't have wanted to go. Like, as messed up as that says, like, I know you need gas money. I mean, at that point, I would have probably just gave you my credit card or something. Like, all the money from DoorDash, I'd let her have. I was like, I got that money. I got the money from Cash Apps. Since we had to stop earlier than planned, we could just you could just have the money and we can go home. But yeah, on the way home, that's exactly what I was trying to do. Like, I'll tell the story. I know it's embarrassing, but I'll tell it. I was like, you know what? Let me put it on TikTok. Like, TikTok makes me laugh and get out of my mind. And I did watch a few funny videos at first, but then I don't know what it was, but this random video came across my page, and most people know the montage and the first few minutes of Up, when it goes through the main characters and his wife's life, and it's that's a trend on TikTok, is putting that music behind something sad. And it was a dog holding. I'm like getting emotional right now talking about it. What the hell is wrong with me? Like, I felt it as I was like talking about it, and it's not even that emotional. Like, I don't know what's wrong right now. I don't know. Maybe it's like the Great Reset for my emotions. I don't know. Earlier today, but so
I told him, I was like, it was probably just because just everything. He was still, even though he was watching videos and trying to get his mind off of it. I told him, I was like, you probably just had like, kind of an end of the emotion.
So yeah, so it's this dog holding a stick, and it says something like, "Oh, he holds a stick to show every person walking by on the sidewalk his favorite stick." And then as the video played on, it showed people walking by or whatever, and them just they'll look over at him but keep on going, and then at one point it was like it was a toddler on a tricycle. And that was like what got me, was the toddler riding bike on the tricycle, like while the dog was stick. And it just reminded me of like last year living in my ex's house, and him riding his tricycle in the front yard on the sidewalk. And I guess it just brought up that memory. And also, of course, it was sad that nobody was playing with this adorable fucking dog, like so adorable. And then like the caption was, yeah, but nobody stopped and played with them. And I was like, I was ugly crying. And she was like, are you for real crying right now?
I think he was actually crying.
Because, everybody does the play.
That's what I thought he was doing.
Everybody does that play crying, the fake crying, but the first time, like, I did it 2 different times like that over exaggerated cry. The first time it was half real and half just like a body reaction. It wasn't even like
Sorry,
intentional.
fixing my nose ring.
So, but then it happened like when the video was almost over. Like, yeah, it was like a very brief, like 10 to 15-minute cry. But she was just looking over me like, what the hell? You know, and she started laughing too, because it was completely random. Like, I don't blame her for laughing either.
Like, I wasn't really, it was more, I was laughing at the situation, not at him crying. Because, like, I mean, obviously, if he was really, truly crying over something, I wouldn't just be laughing at him. But,
Yeah.
like, it was more of like a.
Like, honestly, like I said, I don't blame her at all for laughing. I would probably laugh too if the situations were reversed. But it was just completely random. And yeah, I was like, why am I crying to this video right now? It was priceless. It was hilarious. I was kind of hoping she would record it so I could post it. But
I was driving.
I know. But it was just amazing. It was an amazing moment. And yeah, just even that was like...
Just kind of reset your emotions, like you said.
Yeah, I feel like it was one of those videos where somebody goes and gets like the laughing gas at the dentist and they're all loopy afterwards. I feel like it was like that kind of vibe of me like crying at this random dog TikTok.
I didn't get loopy after I had my laughing gas.
But I don't know, like some people do though,
Yeah, I didn't though. I really, honestly, I came out of it pretty fast when I had mine.
Expert over here, look at her.
Well, it was the first time I'd ever had it, but I didn't really get super loopy. It was just kind of like, oh, okay. But my mouth hurt.
Like, from all the videos online, it seems like it's like borderline truth serum, because they just say whatever on their mind or whatever, like I love those videos. Those videos are hilarious and they're kind of sad sometimes too, but mainly hilarious. I like the ones where they like try to flirt with their like nurse or doctor or whatever. Those always give me a good laugh every time. I mean, even now, like right now, I can feel like my head does hurt a little, so I'm gonna probably take some headache stuff and definitely drink a few bottles of water before I head to bed.
Well, and we can definitely, I think something that will help is tomorrow, you just relaxing during the day and then going to the movie and then our plans for Friday.
Yeah, I told my boss, I called her and told her, all the things that transpired today and told her, like it would be nice to have tomorrow off as well. And so we worked around my schedule. So yeah, like you said, I'm just gonna take tomorrow off and try to relax, try to get my mind right. Just in case I do somehow. It's like a 20-minute drive to work. And what if my AC is acting up again? That's gonna be a long drive, especially in the middle of the day. I was gonna be closing tomorrow, so like in the middle of the day, that's a hot long drive where I could just think about stuff. So I was like, yeah, no, it's probably not best if I go to work tomorrow. So yeah, I have the next 2 days off, and like you said, tomorrow we're going to see the new Thor, Love and Thunder. So maybe that's something we can talk about, maybe tomorrow or something.
We'll enjoy a free drink and free popcorn.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's my birthday month, so one of the things I get, because I have a membership to AMC, is a free...
Oh, you know what? You need to take a bag so I could take a Dr. Pepper with me. That way all we have to do is share the popcorn. I don't need to buy a drink.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that. So, hey, thought of something. I could take me a 20 ounce to the movies. Yeah, I think I'm about to have like something to eat. I am a little hungry also.
But yeah, I'm actually, I mean, this is completely random, but right now I have the AMC Stubs A-list, which, for a while I was actually using it. I'm kind of thinking about switching. They have another one that's like kind of in the middle where I think you get like one free ticket a month or something like that. and then you still get the same benefits. You just don't get to see you can't do 3 movies a week.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's more realistic too.
Yeah. Especially lately because we haven't been going as often,
Yeah.
Of course, we have gone. Well, no, we haven't gone twice this month.
Yeah. Well, last month.
Yeah, because we went in June. Yeah, for Lightyear, but we only went once.
Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange was May. And then.
Yeah, the only time we really go to the movies if it's a Marvel movie or the kids want to see something.
Yeah.
We went to go see Sonic.
Oh yeah.
That was like April or May.
I think that was like right after Doctor Strange.
But yeah, no, like I really don't like going to the movies unless it's something like I have to watch. Like the new Top Gun, I was really like, meh. I mean, I haven't even never seen the first one, so I'm like,
yeah,
it's not.
The only other movie I still really want to see, but I just wasn't feeling it last night. I was so tired and just exhausted from work and everything like that I was just like, I can't even just relax in a movie. As Elvis, because actually he can tell you when he came home, I was still passed out on the couch. Like I had already started to kind of fall asleep, and then I was supposed to start making something while he was on his way home, and I was just completely had passed out. I mean, I was just out of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, because like even like he got home and he was just like, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll go start it. He goes, no, it's okay. It's okay. Because I was completely out of it. And so, yeah, no, I wouldn't have enjoyed the movie with how tired I was. But I still do want to see it. It's just, it is.
Oh, sorry, I'm just moving the mouse
Still
so
a
she
movie I
don't
want to see.
click it.
But I will say, like lately, more and more movies are coming out. For a while there, I mean, there was like what,
due to
maybe
the pandemic,
yeah, it was just
straight to streaming.
Straight to streaming, or even if it wasn't straight to streaming, it was like very limited. Maybe like 1-2 good movies a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of, for a while there, kind of sucked. Like,
yeah, it's funny because a few months ago, I just made like an off random comment. I was like, theaters these days are pretty much just like Marvel movie buildings,
mm-hmm.
But then Top Gun came in and like had the highest grossing movie of the year. Like I didn't see that coming at all, honestly.
Oh, it has? I didn't know that.
It's like crossed $1 billion.
It beat Spider-Man?
Yeah. No, Spider-Man was last year.
Oh, that's right.
Like I think Spider-Man made all its money like the first week or two,
Yeah.
It kind of died off.
I'm kind of surprised it beat Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I am too. But I do feel like some fans aren't really into like Doctor Strange and not Black Widow. I always say that. Scarlet Witch. I mean, unless they watch WandaVision or like they actually care about the whole universe. But I feel like those are two characters that, not like the mainstream really care about. They like Spider-Man and Iron Man and the Hulk, like the OG Avengers. And I mean, we'll see how Thor does. I mean, honestly, I don't think it'll do that well. I think it'll do good, maybe great, but not like amazing. Not like, oh, we're breaking records. But I'm excited for it. Thor Ragnarok was top 3, maybe first or second of my Marvel movie favorites. Like I love Thor Ragnarok.
I think eventually, isn't there going to be like another Black Panther? But it's going to be the girl.
Yeah. It's later this year or next year.
And then, I've actually, even though I know some people haven't, I've actually enjoyed most of the series that they've come out with. I mean, the first one was, of course, WandaVision. And then...
That's still my favorite. Near to my heart.
And then there was...
Was it the Captain America one right after?
I think so, yeah. And then...
Loki
was pretty funny.
Yeah, it took me like half a year, or yeah, it was half a year to watch
That's when
that.
we were sick.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it till like January or February due to COVID. That was like one thing we did. We watched the Captain America and Loki series while we were out with COVID.
And then I semi enjoyed Moon Knight. Like, it was kind of, it's one of those shows where you have to almost like watch it again to like really fully grasp everything, which I don't always enjoy those kind of shows. I wouldn't be opposed to trying to kind of watch it again. It just kind of got, I don't know, it got confusing, more and more towards the end, and just kind of got, we were like, wait, what's happening? Like, wait, what's happening now?
Yeah, like
And
I
then,
love Oscar Isaac, but I'm
yeah.
with her. Like she got further than I did. Like I couldn't even get through the series or season finale. Like I just didn't give a damn about the story at all, honestly.
I mean,
It was
I
just
got it, but then, like I said, it just kind of, parts of it, I was like, wait, what?
yeah.
And then I actually caught up on Miss Marvel the other night.
Yeah, I was actually gonna do that earlier.
Miss Marvel has been, I've liked that. But apparently it's had like the lowest viewership, but which I think is silly.
It's because Caucasian
I don't know.
households aren't watching it.
But it's good. I mean, it's really good. I enjoy it, and I think it's, just a whole different story. But I think it's also, I also do like that it's not, I do like, one thing I did like about Moon Knight, and I guess about Miss Marvel too, is that the last two haven't been, the primary characters haven't been white. Because I mean,
is it Oscar Isaac's white?
No, he's not. He's like, he's not Middle Eastern, but he might be Israeli, something like that. But he's not white.
People on Twitter would call him white.
Yeah, but he's not. Anyways, here's the point. But point is, I do kind of like that they've actually like kind of gotten out a little bit more with not just having white superheroes. And
like, yeah, I like that. Like she said, like the Black Panther series, Miss Marvel.
Well, I like that even, of course, I know why Black Panther is going to be about the girl, but I do kind of like that they're going to have the girl be
And then Captain America is now black too.
Well, she's Muslim.
No, Captain America.
Oh,
black. Yeah.
Sorry.
I love me some Anthony Mackie. Like I loved him before he was in the Marvel movies, and then now even more so. Like he just seems like a chill, cool, funny dude in real life.
But he also plays like that very serious.
Like yeah, he could do everything.
I mean, one of my favorite movies. I mean, it's very dark. It's a very dark movie, but I like the story. The Hate You Give. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that movie when I saw it. But it is definitely a very, it's not exactly a happy movie, but I still enjoyed it, and I still do.
I mean, it's very realistic though. Yeah. It's true to the times.
And he played the, more of like the bad person,
the antagonist.
Yeah. And he played that part really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, he's not the biggest dude, but he definitely had that threatening aura in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, because some of the scenes where he's like, you can see him like in the rearview mirror looking at Star. I'm just like, dang, like he has it. Mm-hmm. And then even that, like the last scene of that movie is the scene that always gets me, where I start to like tear up just because it's very, very, like just crazy. It's the scene where they just got out of the building, and the dad's going up to try to, I think, because they see King. What is his name?
It is King, yeah.
Yeah, so they see King, and like he's trying to possibly shoot at him, and then the little boy takes the gun, and he starts to shoot it, or he starts to like hold it, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like what, like that when I first saw that scene in the theater, like I started to like tear up. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that's just, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's definitely not a happy movie, but it's also
a heavy movie.
But it was very, very well done, and I don't think
all the acting was on point.
I don't think it really got the credit it deserved, really, honestly. I mean, I did listen to the book on audiobook. I believe I finished it. I might not have completely finished it, but I did listen to it on audiobook, most of it. And I mean, so I think there were definitely some differences, but like, I will say, even if it didn't stay completely close to the book, it still got the point across of what the book was about. Even if it didn't stay completely all close to the book, the whole point of the movie was, the class differences, all that kind of stuff, because, you also, part of the movie was about her uncle, or involved her uncle too, that was also Black, but a cop who lived in like more of like a nicer area. Yeah. And so that was kind of one of the things that was very prominent in the movie too, so I think it got the point across of the book, even if it wasn't exactly the same. Sorry.
So just to jump in, when Washi was talking about his character, shout out to Common. Common, he's a good actor too. Like, he will play like a borderline serious, funny role, but no, he played the hell out of that role in The Hate You Give, and he has like one of my favorite songs. It's "I Want You."
He's not Israeli. He's Guatemalan.
Oh, Oscar Isaac is Guatemalan.
I told you he wasn't like
Guatemala.
His last name's Hernandez.
That was a little shout out to Dash EXP. I was watching a podcast with him on it earlier, but yeah, that's one of his little bits. Well,
anyway, sorry, you were talking about.
But yeah, the Common, yeah, he's like an amazing artist. Like, I don't know if you call it. He's like borderline R&B, hip hop, and yeah, no, he's good at that. He's good at music, and he's good at acting. Like,
which one was he? The uncle?
Yeah, the bald dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, yeah, no, some of his.
Yeah, and
Common. And he played that part really well of like, and oh yeah, that movie was, it is a good movie. And then Amandla, she did really well too. And I didn't even realize it was the same girl from Hunger Games until I looked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even realize it was that girl.
Shout out to Rue, R.I.P.
So
yeah, no, I noticed it was her, or maybe not. Maybe I was just like, it was one of those things like, who is that? What are they in? And then you look it up, like, oh, duh. Like, I just had that moment in Stranger Things, the new season, when I realized who it was. Finally, I was asking her. I was like, "Do you remember? Do you recognize that guy from somewhere?" He was in like one of the trilogy, like one of the saga movies, like one of the series movies from like 10 years ago. He was one of the characters. Do you know who he is? She's like, no. I was like, I'm 100% sure you've watched the movies. You don't know who that is?
Which one was it again?
He was from Twilight.
Oh.
He was like one of the Volturi.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I recognize him like as soon as I saw his face.
Oh yeah, because I even asked you. I said, "Are you sure I've seen the movie?"
Yeah, no.
And you're like, "We watched it together."
Mm-hmm. So you want to call it there? We've almost put in an hour. So it's funny. Earlier, the episode I recorded, the previous episode, I was trying to like cut it off, and I went for like another 5 to 10 minutes. I was just going on a random tangent, and I think that'd be funny if that's like my little shtick. It's like I try to end the episode, but I can't. Like, if you're Hispanic or Black, you know what that's like. Trying to say bye, and it becomes a whole other thing. Like, you move to outside, then you move to the car, and then you get in the car, you're still talking. Like, that's what it's like trying to end this. Like for real, like
Maybe
people of color, they know what that's like.
maybe one of the other shows or something like that at one point could be because I've been kind of watching it on YouTube, and there's a few. Well, I say there's more than a few actually about it, but like some of the stuff that, uh, like so so we just certainly uh, got engaged, and so I've been finding different things that you can either get for free or like super discounted. And each time I get it super excited and have to show them. But there's some videos where like they show the different stuff you can get in the boxes, and then maybe like my next one, whenever I get it, I can show some of the stuff that comes.
Yeah, that's been one of her main things is collecting all kinds of bridal items.
Well, I told him, I said I only plan to be a bride once and not again. Just that one time.
Same, like if this doesn't work, then
You only plan to be a bride once?
yeah.
Okay. So, but I mean, like some people don't even know some of that stuff is out there that you can get, and even like people stress about wedding planning, but honestly, like it really hasn't been all that hard. I mean, besides mainly just figuring out when we'll start to send stuff out or figure out when we'll try to get pictures and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, I think we're kind of lucky that the venue basically has done almost everything except for like the cake, which you can easily get that somewhere else, and then but everything else, like part of the package even includes like invitations and everything, so that's a big expense right there that's included. As
it's weird. Look on camera, the jersey is its true color, but as I look down, it looks more like a green. At least to my eyes.
It is like a teal green.
Yeah, but now I feel like that's like the true color represented on camera. But in real life, it looks more. Anyway. But yeah, she's been excited about that.
And I asked him, I said, would you rather me not be excited?
And I was like, no, because I've been on the other end of a boring engagement where like, oh, okay, I guess I'll wear my ring today.
Really?
I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna touch her.
Well, and actually, I really want to get. So the original ring that he proposed to me with was a ring off that we had bought, and then just so that way we could eventually do like the actual proposal and stuff like that, because we wanted to do it on the weekend that we had as kids, or I wanted it to be.
Yeah, she wanted it. She planned her own proposal. All I had to do was pick a spot. But she planned the date.
I didn't plan the date. I just
time frame.
I just wanted it to be where the kids were involved. It's basically
Bridezilla.
I am not.
I'm just playing. I'm joking.
And he said okay, and then so the original one that I'd really wanted was on Etsy, but then actually I found another one that I liked, and it came with the wedding band and everything like that too. And the wedding band I really like because it's smaller, and it's kind of like, eventually I'm not always going to want to wear the thing with all the jewels and stuff on it just so it doesn't get messed up. I can wear that one, but the engagement rings, like even the original and then the one that we later on got that came with the wedding band, I kind of want to get them like together or whatever, like find somewhere where I could get them soldered together. Because I think that would be really cool to just have them together. But I do know eventually I'll just wear the one ring, and I won't wear like, because I don't want, to scratch anybody with the ring or anything like that. And it just kind of, it's actually not too far out though. I will say that.
But what isn't too far out?
The ring, like it's not as far out as some I've seen. Like it's still pretty. Honestly, it's pretty basic, but that's kind of what I like. I don't like the rings that stick out a whole lot. I don't like big rings because my hands aren't very big, and so I wasn't like super picky. I wasn't, and it wasn't even. I was like, why would I want to spend something? Spend like a whole bunch of money on it. And
when like after the wedding you're gonna get all big and grow and the ring won't fit anymore.
You can get that big.
I'm joking. That's a complete total joke. I'm being sarcastic. I'm just being an asshole. I'm joking about that.
No, yes, but no, like, but I also, even before the wedding, like or before this wedding planning, anything like that, I'd been watching some of the shows that are on TLC and stuff like that, that are now on Discovery Plus that I used to watch on TLC. And one of them is like a show where they have like the wedding competition or whatever. And they always say like what the budgets are for the wedding. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, are you serious? Some of these people are spending like upwards. This was like 5 years ago, if not longer. So things are even more expensive now. Some of those people are spending like, like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. When some of them are like, oh no, I only spent like 10,000, which I'm like, okay, that I can handle, but like that much, I mean, the wedding industry is just crazy how expensive it is, and how expensive it even was, like 6 or 7 years ago when all these were filmed. Yeah, it's crazy. So I just don't see the point of it. I mean, I see the point of having the wedding. It's not that. I want to have the wedding, but I also still want it to be reasonable on different things, and, we're actually having it on Sunday because it's actually more reasonable on that's pricing. And so, and I've already planned out like what days I'm going to ask off for work, everything like that too.
I don't expect to be at my current job, so I'm not even planning that far ahead.
I know that time next year. So in 2023 in April, I will have the maximum vacation that I can actually. I'll have up to 3 weeks that I can use of paid vacation. So I'll still have some earned time, but but I think it's good to maybe call it a night, and maybe we can do that another day. Maybe that can be, something that we do.
Yeah, you could show some of the wedding, like you said, like show some of the stuff you got. Yeah, that'd be.
And then we could even show, like kind of the experience we've had with, the venue, and then also even the experience with on the website, that I've been using. I haven't really done like all the planning, but I've done like the basic stuff.
Like 99% of it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, still like figuring out what, obviously booking the hotel closer to the actual wedding and stuff like that, and all that kind of good stuff. We were going to do an Airbnb, but since they just recently changed the rules, we may not do an Airbnb now. We might just have to do a hotel.
And I mean, I feel like hotels are better anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I like Airbnb just kind of for like the cozy feel, you know, and just the homey feel. You know, I do feel like in some areas the Airbnbs are a little bit better. My experience for Airbnbs is mainly in San Diego where my family is, and I've been pretty happy with all of them there. But you know, there's a lot more out there to choose from. There's, you know, a lot, you know, there's just a lot more out there, you know, because a lot of them have like they have like a house, like there's a good amount of places out there that have like a house and then like almost like a granny house or a house behind it. And so that's what a lot of people rent out is that house behind it. So like you have a whole house, which it is, you know, a pretty decent sized house. But like but yeah, I think we'll definitely probably end up just getting a hotel just because, you know, they're being kind of limited. Their Airbnb has become more limited and stuff like that. And sometimes they're even limited on kids, which of
So
course.
I feel like Airbnb is going the same route like Uber and Lyft. Like when Uber and Lyft first started, it was like a lot more, it was a lot cheaper and more convenient than like an actual taxi. And then now, you know, I'm seeing, you know, stuff on Twitter and social media that like the price is as much as a taxi now. And then like the same with Airbnb, you know, that was its initial appeal was that it was cheaper than renting a hotel room, and like the concept was just so awesome, you know. And then now like they're raising their prices steadily to where like, oh, might as well just fucking go to a hotel like we used to do.
Well, and then now they're making it where you can't have parties there, and that's like an Airbnb rule now. So even if like the person that owns the house is okay with it, it's still like a rule now to have no parties.
Yeah, I know, like that was probably an initial appeal, also, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I will say people definitely abuse that because I've heard some stories about some Airbnbs and people just completely trashing them, which I don't get because I feel bad about even trashing like a hotel room. You know, I just when I would stay with my grandparents or when I would stay at a hotel or anywhere really, it was always like, you know, it's not your place, clean up after yourself. Even if like the maids are coming in to clean it, it's still polite. You know, at least like, you know, even at like an Airbnb, like when we went to go stay in one, you know, I was still just like at least like, you know, straighten up some of the stuff that we, you know, might have messed up or whatever.
Yeah, but no, everything was just as clean as it was when we got there.
Yeah, I mean,
minus this like random ass spot that was dripping from the roof into the sink. That was so weird and random.
But I remember, you know, I mean, we didn't exactly fully make the bed, but we were like, you know, at least like, but but my point is like, you know, it's just people just don't have respect for other people's property, and you know, so now like one of the main things people like to do with Airbnbs they can't really do anymore, and I think it's because people just mess that up.
Yeah, like my experience with her was the first time.
And it was a next house though. I remember that. It was
crazy. It was like too quiet at night where I couldn't sleep at all. She was over here like sleeping in heavenly peace, and I couldn't sleep worth a damn because I was just like, okay, I already know as soon as I get relaxed, there's gonna be like a loud noise or a bang or something crazy to wake me up.
And
so
he's the one that doesn't like to sleep with the TV on. And before we really got together, I was always sleeping with the TV on, and I did not like to have it off and all that kind of stuff. And now, like, I'm just like, no, I'll just turn it off. I can just go to sleep by playing on my phone or whatever.
But it's because the fan is loud enough.
Yeah.
You know, the fan blocks out most like thunderstorms. A thunderstorm has to be like super bad for us to hear over the fan.
That fan is really good.
It's good and loud. Like I like it. Like it helps me like just drone out all the other sounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's call it there because I am getting hungry for realties this time. I'm gonna end it. I have to go make me a sandwich because it's quick and easy, and yeah, I'm starving, so I'm gonna have me a sandwich and start to wind down this fucking long, crazy day. It started off so amazing. Like the last episode was a lot of fun. Did you see any of the last episode
I
earlier?
haven't started watching it yet.
Okay.
Whenever I tried
You
to
don't
start,
have to. It's okay.
whenever I tried to start watching it, you were editing it,
Oh,
and it wasn't on
okay.
where I could watch it.
Don't watch it. Y'all watch it. You don't watch it. I said some crazy stuff. No, not that crazy, but a little crazy.
Doesn't mean I can't watch it.
Yeah. I'll go put it on Prime. No, I'm playing. It's not that bad. Just some stories from my fucking. Yeah, this has been Vibe with Deezy, episode 15. Finally, gonna end a long day. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Go ahead. You can click it because we have to click another one. So I'm just gonna keep talking while she finally ends it. Good night.